Hey, friends, you get to see me in my very stunning took a walk clothes. You'd be surprised. I only have currently 0 in the queue. So this Joyful Martyrs one is actually posting this Monday. I'm recording this on March 13th, wrote it earlier in the week. So Friday, March 13th. It's getting dropped on Monday, March 16th. And I was just January and February I've had. And so now I get to spend some time building out the next few ones. And so I thought, well, I got a kid over here, over there. He's in the other room working on some stuff. Other family's out. And so I thought, let me just go ahead and do this, get one more out for you, and then I can begin to build out the other posts. So I probably also owe you a marriage memoir one. I can do that soon. But the Joyful Martyr post really came from not just the illustration of AC vendors, but a pretty common issue that exists, I think, in you could say faith, church, or nonprofit kind of mission-driven circles where we feel like we are always the one who is supposed to do the most and hardest work. Now, there's a tension here because I do believe in when I teach leaders, I always teach about taking that place and serving others. But there's an assumption within the joyful martyr mentality. That's why I said my favorite task is the one I assume you'll hate. And the assumption in the joyful martyr mentality is that no one else wants to do it, no one else should do it, no one else could do it, which has, as I put down here, this view of being self-important. So what begins to happen is you are thinking you are being the team player when really you are trying to do things that kind of make you look either like you're the only one who'll do hard things and the rest of the people on your team might not even be able to have it. Or help. So you had the AC vendor story, and that might have been 2 nights. And then finally, a buddy on staff just said, you got to stop. You got to stop doing that. Because I also had this way of messaging the staff just to say, hey guys, I'm still up here working on, they're almost done. He's almost done. I think they're almost done. Got to come up tomorrow. Going to get I had this way of sort of indicating that I was doing a hard job. And it wasn't really a hard job. It was just a stupid late night job. Sitting in my office is not a hard job. And so if you go right here to this paragraph, the 2 problems that begin to show up with the joyful martyr mentality is, 1, someone else might actually want to do it. And I totally remove that possibility from the equation when I just take it on myself. So that's thing number 1. Thing number 2 is, even if they don't, I can't lean on somebody. I can't ask them to do it. So I'm ignoring or avoiding the person who might want to help. And then secondly, I am preventing an opportunity for people just to step in and support me or demonstrate that they're a part of the team too. And so that's specifically important when you're doing a task that no one really wants and it's nobody's job. And at times you just have to do it. So when I think of, well, it may be a bad example because it was everybody's job, but I was an RA at LSU, and RAs had to work the desk, and they had to have certain weekends where they were on call. And it wasn't just everybody go, well, I'll do it. Like you didn't just always just one person take it. You shared it. It was never a fun task to get up at 2, 3, 5, whatever time in the morning and do your rounds and be sure the dorm was all put together and be sure somebody didn't shoot off the the fire extinguisher, not the air conditioner. Got air conditioners on the brain. And so, but when that isn't the case and you're not sure the job, you just let other people do it because they're also a part of working on the team, and that's what everybody needs. And so you have a simple kind of takeaway here, which is to just ask. But the ask really comes because you are underestimating the people around you. And that's, I think, the heart that I had to deal with, which is my overinflating my importance and my mentality on the team. And then secondly, undervaluing the team. And when you do those things, you create that gap. No one can actually close that gap because it's really based upon your view of you and your view of others. So the only thing you have to begin to do is actually humble yourself, ask others, and then let them demonstrate their own team playerness. Is that even a word? And it's a better place to be. And so all kinds of teams and all kinds of people deal with this, but I think in my world in particular, it's well, I'll do the hardest thing. And there have been a couple of times where I have assumed no one was going to do the hardest thing. So I in my head, I take it on myself. I think of one time in particular, I assume no one's going to do it. So I wait around because I know I'm going to have to do it. And then somebody else did it. Well, now I look stupid because I judged improperly and hastily. But then also, I could have left. Would have been way more fun. So I love this post in part just because of the call out that it is to me and how I lead or how I operate. But it is a real problem that many of us have. Hopefully, you might have it less than I do.